What's going on, guys? Second video this weekend. Yeah, that feels like a big accomplishment after, not uploading for all that time. I uploaded one video yesterday, but, that was the first one in about 2 months. So, today is going to be a Universal Orlando related video. I haven't done one of these in probably about a year, I'd say, ever since they announced Shrek 4D was closing. And quite frankly, the announcement we're talking about today, this happened much later than I expected. So, the announcement was made about, I believe, I'm recording this on November 12th. It was made, it was November 1st or 2nd, I believe. I don't remember if it was the same day as Wildcats Revenge or not. I think it was the 1st, was when they made this announcement, but it could have been the 2nd, I don't remember offhand. But they announced, about, I'd say, good, over half of Kid Zone is going to be closing, and I actually have a screenshot of the announcement, so I'm going to have that in here real quick. So, yeah, after January 15th, Fievel's Playland, Curious George Goes to Town, DreamWorks Destination Out. I think that replaced The Day in the Park with Barney, if I remember correctly. I think that's supposed to be just like a thing with a bunch of DreamWorks characters. I don't remember if it's like a dance party, like a show. I don't even know what that's supposed to be honest. And I believe the Shrek and Donkey Meet and Greet's gonna be closing. That one was the one that caught me by surprise the most. Shrek 4D closed. They replaced them with Minions, I think, in that section of the park. They moved them this past summer to Kid Zone, and now all of a sudden, gone there too. I think DreamWorks Destination, where that's supposed to be, was supposed to be temporary edition, so that doesn't really shock me all that much. Oh yeah, Woody Woodpecker's Nut House could be closing too, but that I think is going to end up getting rethemed. But the main topic of this video is going to be potential replacements for Kid Zone. And I have a couple in mind. There's only really one that I think is actually likely. One that I don't really think is going to happen, but I want to. And then, there's another, potential option I have thrown in there. So we're just going to, discuss this. This has been a pretty heavily talked about topic by, a lot of, YouTubers and all that side. And, I wasn't really that shocked by this announcement at all. I'm a little bit surprised the Shrek 4D announcement came sooner than this, to be honest. Honestly, there was no COVID. I think we would have seen all this gone in early 2020. Maybe even December 2019. Yeah, I think that there was no COVID, all of a sudden been gone years ago. Because there was actually permits to tear all this down, and they never did. So, yeah. So I think now we're gonna get to the main topic of the video, potential replacements. So I think it's either gonna be a DreamWorks land or an Illumination land, but the Illumination land I'm kind of skeptical because the only three properties that I really know that are somewhat big of theirs, I don't even know, these two of them are really big, but that they can do something with. They're already gonna have the whole front of the park themed to Despicable Me. At least, they're gonna have two attractions right across from each other, because there's another Minions right replacing Shrek, supposedly. I think it's like a stand. It's like a thing where you stand like a conveyor belt, and it's like a shooting dark ride. That sounds pretty cool and all. And, especially like a standing kind of thing. That sounds interesting. But yeah, essentially that whole front of the park's gonna be themed to Minions. So are they gonna have another Minions land right next door? I doubt it. But the Illumination, I was, originally thinking Illumination land, but, I don't really think Secret Life of Pets or Sing is big enough to have a whole land theme to it. Yeah, I know there's a Secret Life of Pets off the leash ride in California, so they could, probably use what was, what used to be Five O's Playland and Curious George Goes to Town and put it there. I think that can probably work. Maybe retheme Woody Woodpecker's Nose Coaster to that, and then, or to some Illumination property, and then put where A Day in the Park with Barney used to be. They could put, I believe they have a Sing show in Universal Studios Japan, I want to say, or Beijing. It's one of them. It's one of the, out of America ones I remember offhand. That could probably work, but I just don't know, because both of those properties, Secret Life of Pets and Sing, are they really big enough to have a whole land themed to them? I don't think so. The clue they gave was beloved animated characters, so it's obviously gotta be something, with animation, and it's gonna be something kid-friendly, I would assume. So, that leaves a lot of options in there. I know that Pokemon was originally rumored at one point, but which I don't really think I would associate, beloved anime characters with that. I would associate more something like video game related with that. So, and I don't think it's happening in Kid Zone. I think it's either going to happen in Epic Universe, maybe Islands of Adventure, or I know that Universal's contract with The Simpsons ends in 2028, I believe. So that means that they're going to probably have to take all that out, the whole Simpsons area. But I think by probably after the Kid Zone replacement opens, so that'll probably be either 2026 or 2027. So then maybe after that, assuming the idea is still out there, they could put Pokemon there. But yeah, that was originally going to replace Kid Zone. But after seeing, the beloved anime characters in there, I think Pokemon's still coming to Universal, but just not Kid Zone. So, yeah, the Illumination Land idea has been talked about by a lot of people, but it's not going to be two Minion lands, and, I don't really think Secret Life of Pets or Sing is big enough to have its own land, so that, I don't really know if I see it happening. But now we're going to get to, what I want to see, but I don't think it's actually going to happen, is a SpongeBob-themed land. I mean, the only reason I think this is even a somewhat possibility is because they're still going to keep the store, and they're still going to keep the characters in the park. And that, as far as I know, while SpongeBob is still popular, is not going anywhere. And they even said, I think, Animal Actors, E.T., SpongeBob store the SpongeBob store and Kids Zone Pizza Company are all staying. Now, I could see Kids Zone Pizza Company getting rethemed because, the area is not going to be Kids Zone anymore. But as far as all that is still staying. So, I think if they were to do a SpongeBob land, what could possibly end up happening is, where Day in the Park with Barney / Dreamworks Destination used to be, they can put like an indoor Krusty Krab restaurant or an indoor Glove World roller coaster. I think would be really cool. And then they can make like where Curious George Goes Town used to be, they can make that like a Jellyfish Fields or something like that. Maybe a Miss Puff's Boating School where Fivel's Playland used to be. And then they can easily retheme, Woody Woodpecker's Nut House coaster, maybe something like Gary, and they can have like the front car be like a snail. I think that would be really cool. Now, as much as I love this idea, I'm really, really doubtful that'll actually happen. But I think it's got a chance, seeing that the store and the characters are still going to be there. I don't think it's a great one, but I would actually be shocked if this ends up happening. But yeah, I think I'm looking at it realistically, I think this and Illumination Land are probably about equally likely to happen. Even that, I'd probably say in below a 50-50 for both of them. Now I'm going to get to what I think is the most likely, and this has been rumored, by a lot of people, is a DreamWorks land. And, I wouldn't be, this, I mean, they have multiple properties they can work with, Shrek, they can do, and they can, bring the characters back and, maybe have like a, or Day in the Park with Barney used to be, they could have like a new kind of show. By new, I mean like not something outdated like, a 4D show or something like that, but not a stage show either. Like, I don't even think that would work out with Shrek. I don't think that would work too well. But, they can, have like a little more definitely a more updated indoor attraction in there where, Day in the Park with Barney used to be. And then they can make Curious George Goes to Town like a Shrek Swamp or something like that. And then maybe Fivel's Playland could become like Far, Far Away instead or something like that. And then I think they already have like a Shrek themed land in like Universal Studios Singapore, I believe. I don't know the outside America ones too well, but I believe that's where it is. And they can they can easily retheme, give Woody Woodpecker's Mouse Coaster like a donkey theme or even like a dragon theme or, something among those lines. So I think I could see that happening. I mean, although with DreamWorks, if they were to make a whole DreamWorks land, they got multiple properties to work with. Even though I don't know much about it, they can do something with Trolls. I know that's very popular with the little kids. So, they got Trolls, they got Kung Fu Panda, Madagascar even. Like, there's plenty. I was recording, got cut off because of a phone call, but, we're going to get back to this now. As I was saying with the DreamWorks land, I think, they could do, I think if they were to do that, it's gonna be multiple properties in one land rather than just one at once. I don't think it's gonna be How to Train Your Dragon because that's coming to Epic Universe as far as I'm aware. But like I think they could have like maybe you know, I'm trying to think about like realistically they could have like they could retheme, Woody Woodpecker's Nut House Coaster to maybe like with Shrek or something like that. They could have maybe a Trolls show where Day in the Park with Barney used to be. I think of all those, of all the DreamWorks properties, that would be the most likely to get its own show, I would say. And then Fievel's Playland and Curious George Goes to Town. They could really put really anything there. But I will say one thing. I mean, is that Universal Studios just Orlando, like just the park itself, really needs water rides. Islands of Adventure's got 3. The main park, as far as I know, has none, which that's kind of brutal on a 100-degree day, in the middle of summer in Florida. Like, whatever replaces Kids Zone, I think they desperately need at least some sort of water ride there. And you don't need a scientist to tell you that. So, basically, I narrow it down to 3 options for what I think it could be. Either Illumination Land, SpongeBob Land, or DreamWorks Land. But I think the DreamWorks Land is probably going to be what wins out ultimately. But, Universal usually doesn't announce the brand new stuff like that right away. And I don't even think I think Epic Universe opens in 2025. So this new land, I don't think it's going to be opening until tail end of 2024, probably, maybe summer 2024 if we're lucky. But I think it's going to be closer to maybe the holiday season 2024. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I wasn't really that surprised by this announcement. I'm a little more surprised they didn't make it sooner, to be honest. But, yeah. It's pretty much hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.